more. Yeah, let's leave that there. And people can read some of these. Even Miranda Devine in the Australian writes about how atrocious and how obnoxious and how horrible these programs are. I do have some material that I think is being copied and can be handed out. But editorial, even the Herald Sun says they're going too far in sex classes, and the Australian editorial says children sexualized in school diversity programs. They're sexualizing our children. Safe schools, building better, get rid of it. Now, I was with the Education Minister's office in my home state of Tasmania just 2-3 days ago, and the Liberal Party conference in Tasmania, Malcolm Turnbull came to last week, and it was announced at the conference that the Liberal Party government, Will Hodgman, that we're not going to teach safe schools in the schools in Tasmania next year. They weren't going to do it. So I went to the education. I was going to congratulate. He said, "Oh no, that's not the case." They said the young liberals of all people. Some of you may know what happens in these conferences. The young liberals moved a motion to ban the safe schools thing. The young liberals of all people moved a motion to ban it. The big liberals overruled it. Said, "No, we're going to have it. We're going to have it." That's what happened in Tasmania. So the minister said, listen to this, the minister said, as long as the federal government funds the program, we're going to teach the program. They don't care about your members of your family. They care about the numbers of people who contact them and not going to elect them again. You know, in Parliament, there's a lot of them there because there's no heavy lifting. And they get a staff. And they get people to answer the phone for them. And they get people to drive around in cars. And they get people to pay their travel bills and their phone expenses and their meals and their accommodation and all this kind of stuff. And we need to let them know that we're going to take that away from them if they continue to treat us as a bunch of buffoons. What they're doing. Cultural Marxism. Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals. Saul Alinsky, Hillary's mentor. Go to the next one, please.
Oh, that's it.
Is there? Okay, that's it. Okay. I'll close quickly. Maybe we'll have a quick time for questions. Saul Alinsky's, you heard Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals was dedicated to Lucifer. He's Hillary's mentor. She dedicated her thesis to him. And he gives us the handbook on cultural Marxism. Number 1, healthcare. Control healthcare and you control the people. Number 2, poverty. Poor people are easier to control. Increase the poverty level as high as possible. Because, oh, by the way, how much is a house block in this neighborhood? A house block for a young family to buy, to build, to start their first home? How much is a house block? A block, mind you, not a house in this neighborhood.
$500,000.
$500,000. And that's without a house. Increase poverty because people are less willing to fight back if everything is provided for them. Gun control, number 4. If you can more easily can create a police state if you remove the people's right to self-defense. That's number 4 in Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals. Number 5, welfare. Take control of every aspect of the people's lives. Food, housing, income, every aspect of their lives. That's the government. That's what we want the government to do. We call the government all the time. Oh, pay us more for this. Oh, pay us more. Oh, have more children. Pay more for that. Oh, I want to do this. Pay me more for this. We do all the time. It's socialism. You know, I just read stats in the Weekend Australian on the front page of a single mom on welfare with 3 children makes more than a senior level public servant. Did you see that article that was in the Australian? The stats are all there. That is wrong. Whenever you reward slothfulness and penalize productivity, you get more slothfulness. Even I can understand that, and I'm not very smart. Now, maybe the legislators in Queensland can't understand me because of my accent. I was in Tasmania just a while back walking to the cemetery at Huonville, and a man came through walking his dogs to the cemetery, and I said, "Morning." He said, "No, I'm just walking my dogs." I just heard, by the way, yesterday in the Australian newspaper, yesterday, I read it, coming up here on the plane. Penthouse apartment in Sydney, $180 million. A penthouse apartment in Sydney, $180 million. Divide wealth in the poor, create class division. That's another one of Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals. Take control of every aspect. Education. Control what people, number 6, control what people read, listen to, and control what children learn in school. safe schools program. Religion, remove belief in God from government schools, from government and schools. And class warfare, divide into rich and poor. $180 million for a penthouse apartment in the city. Top floor penthouse apartment. This is my website, ausfamily.org. I don't know if it's there. ausfamily.org. Oz Family. AUS Family. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, up here. ausfamily.org. In the packet that you're going to be given, there's a DVD. It's a bit dated, but it's a DVD of mine that has a lot of data concerning the link between pornography and sex crimes. As I told you, it is now no longer arguable. Just like the tobacco company can no longer argue tobacco and lung cancer, the porno industry can no longer argue the link with their product and public health. They do it because the media is their friend. Just like the media is the friend of the safe schools people. But we need to know the truth. And also there's my business card in that packet because the details on the DVD, that's the wrong ad. I have a new address because I've shipped it down to Tasmania. And the DVD was done when I was still in Victoria. But I'm finished. I may have forgotten a few things, but I think my time's up. And hopefully we have a few questions. I'd like to hear from anybody and everybody. Yes, ma'am.
Just a statement. I think we should refer to it as unsafe schools.
Unsafe schools, very good.
Because two things, it's not safe, and secondly, it's pushed by the United Nations.
Yes, it is. Yes, that's it. Very good. Everybody hear that? Unsafe schools instead of safe schools. Yes, sir.
Mr. Sonneman, I run meetings. No apology. When are you in Sydney? I'd like to invite you to address one of my meetings. It would be my pleasure. We don't pay money, but I'd like to have you on deck, Squire, because I've been running meetings for 40 years, and I think you might be a success.
Well, thank you. I'd love to come. Anytime. I go wherever I'm invited. Julie, how much did you pay me to come here? You couldn't afford me again, could you? I go where I'm invited.
Now, what I'm trying to say is, are you a resident of New South Wales?
I live in Tasmania.
Oh, damn. Well, let me know. Give me your card and let me know when you're next in Sydney, New South Wales.
I will. Also, Ian, I would like everybody to put their name and address if they want to get my newsletter.
I was just going to say, there has been have you all signed, yeah, so do any of you object to Julie giving Jack all your emails? If anyone does, just on your way out, just put no thank you or whatever, but if not, then Julie will pass that on to Jack.
There's a lot of sample bags to let you, so make sure you grab one of those.
Well, somebody's going to launch the book here. They'll talk about the sample bags. But also, I go wherever I'm invited. I go. There's no charge. There's no fee. I do ask, however, and everyone listen, please. I do ask, so whenever I go anywhere, that people be encouraged to sign up for my newsletter, and if they can, give me some kind of subscription fee. If they can, $10, $20. But I don't require that, but it does help me pay some of the bills. I've been chopping firewood all winter in Tasmania to pay bills. It's about to kill me. I send this out, all this stuff out free. There's no charge for anything I ever do. I produce DVDs and send them out. I do everything I can because we're committed to changing our culture for Christ. I want my little 6 granddaughters who are under 7, I want them to grow up and bless me and not curse me. Because we're handing them a society that is sick, and it is not their fault. It's our fault. We can change it if we get involved. I've seen too many things happen to not be able to be told we can't make a difference. Go tell somebody else we can't make a difference. I'm making a difference. The young man with the glasses, you had a question, comment.
Oh yes, I'm only here because I'm a victim of the Anti-Discrimination Board in New South Wales.
Everybody hear this?
Do you hear?
I said everybody hear this gentleman here.
Yeah. Now you talk about a link between A and B, e.g. Pornography and violence, okay, against women. Okay. Now if you were in that podium and you said there was a link between homosexuality and child molestation, okay? If you said there was a link, and this activist called Gary Burns in Sydney, if he was sitting here, this is a public act that you're doing now, right? He would put a complaint into the Anti-Discrimination Board that you were vilifying homosexuals, they would have no conciliation. They will send it to the tribunal like they did with me. And I've been a victim. I made a statement in that vein that there was a linkage. And I used it as an argument against same-sex marriage, right?
Good.
Because I'm a father and a grandfather. This wasn't about homosexuality, it was about protection of children.
Yep.
And it's cost me $10,000 just for one statement I made on Facebook because of this activist. So,
Gary Burns.
So, what would you do if you were in my shoes? Would you hire a lawyer?
Listen.
But you just can't win, okay?
Listen.
They say I've said an unlawful statement because I've vilified homosexuals, which I haven't.
Is this under 18?
Everybody hear that? That's under 18C. Yeah. Well, listen, over the years, as Lex Stewart here knows, as Graham McLennan knows, even as Alistair Webster knows, I have been sued in the Supreme Court by the Attorneys General. I have been sued by governments. I've been sued by corporations. I've been sued by big banks. I've been sued by everybody and anybody, which is why I've got nothing. It's cost me everything. I've got nothing. It's cost me everything. But I don't care. Somebody said I came into this world naked and hungry, and that's probably how I'm going to leave it. But I'm going to continue to do what is right. And I'm going to continue to be sued. I say things all the time that are discriminatory, that are defamatory, all the time. And that's why we couldn't get other... We tried when we came here to get other groups to do what we're doing, and nobody would touch it. They all said, oh, you can't say that in Australia. Our first newsletter had a headline that read, Westpac Bank promotes pornography. People said, oh, you can't say that. People said, oh, you'll get in all kinds of trouble if you say that. And they were correct. Westpac Bank had 2 pages of advertising in Playboy and Penthouse magazines. And we wrote to them and said, they're going to take our money up. Anyway, they canceled, because you wrote to them also. They canceled, they had never appeared. That was our first newsletter, our first success. Even Dr. Gordon Powell, who was mentioned earlier, he wrote to Westpac. He was one of my very first subscribers. And it's grown from there. But all the things we've done and said have been defamatory and discriminatory. So, we tread a line here that I have been sued. I've even taken, I took the Queensland government in the Supreme Court one time, and the law firm that took it on said, don't do it. Don't do it. We did it, and we won. Lex, question. I think we're going to have to close quickly. So,
What's the best way to get through to a very busy local member of Parliament who's a product of the party machine, has got no particular morality? What's the best way to press the button to get through all the cloud of issues and busyness?
Everybody hear the question? What's the best way to get to a local member of Parliament who is really not ideologically committed to anything, just a party political machine? Numbers. Numbers. If enough people speak to him over any issue, he's the easiest one to influence because he's not ideologically committed one way or the other. And he'll be... I had a member of the Labour caucus tell me, he said, Mr. Sonneman, if I had... They call me Mr. Sonneman when I'm on the phone, but I don't know if they call me when they hang up. But anyway, they said, Mr. Sonneman, if I had 2 letters from my constituents over this issue, that would give me the ammunition I need to stand up in the party room and say, this is what my... He said, if I had 15 letters, he said, strike a light, I'd walk on water. Numbers. Numbers is the key. We think Scripture says, ignore the devil and he'll flee from you. Scripture says, resist the devil and he'll flee from you. Unfortunately, in this area, we have not resisted him. When we start to, is when we start to see victory. Yes, sir.
A friend of mine is going to court in the near future because he smacked his grandchild's backside. The reason he did it, she told him that she was going to A, which was acceptable. He found out she was going
somewhere
to a
else.
boyfriend, and he's up in court, bringing her into line. Now, okay, some parents go over the top, but it's gone the other way, where you smack a kid to bring it, to give it put some sense into its head, and you're up in court.
That's where our culture's going because of the cultural Marxists.
Now,
It didn't used to be that way. I remember the nuns at my school, all my education is Catholic, I'd get slapped out of my desk. That's right.
And
Yes, and you know, it didn't do me harm, it did me good. And it'll do the young ones good today too. But no, they'll sue the school or sue the teachers or sue the parents or something. And that's because of the culture Marxist influencing and infecting our culture. We have to reverse it. I don't know what to do, but I'm going to be doing something. You may be the one that stumbles on the success. You tell me about it, I tell others, and we'll join it together. But there's strength in our unity, like-minded individuals. A couple more, and I think I probably should close. I don't know. Somebody's... Yeah. Yes,
Is
sir.
there any one particular source of inspiration whereby the people who are our greatest enemies cohere? Is there one particular... Where are these people coming from? The prime movers behind the annihilation of our culture and our future.
Yes. The
Where
communist...
are they coming from? Now,
Very good. Where are they coming from?
Is there a cohesive organisation or mindset which you can pinpoint?
Yes, I can. Actually, it's called the Communist Manifesto.
That's
That is their Bible.
1848.
That is their Bible. Oh, yes. And there has been a revision of that is their Bible. Now, they may not all agree that that's what they use, but they adhere to the principles and concepts of the communist. And that's communism is embedded in their thinking, even as Roz Ward said to the group. You know, not only will we teach them how to be a communist, but we'll teach them how to be a homosexual communist. She said a gay communist. He, she, it said a gay communist. But yes, I would say it's the Communist Manifesto.
All right.
And Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals is nothing more than a handbook derived from the Communist Manifesto. And they're all followed. They all follow it. So, Ian, whoever's taking charge, Jim?
Yep, I think it's...
Should take another question or not? Are we done?
I think we're pretty well done there, but we're running out of time.
If anyone would like to help me with a subscription fee, see me afterwards. I also have the business cards for you and a DVDs on the table you can take, along with, I think, some material amount on the table. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
After John